Fantastic, very good. And one of the things when I'm working towards a goal, I have a little voice in my head that talks to me all the time, and most of the time it's really good and encouraging.
Yes.
Every once in a while it goes a little to the negative side, but one of the things that I say to myself all the time, it's almost like the little cheerleader in my head pops up, and when I think about giving up, it says, "Go, girl, go."
Yeah.
Do you have anything that you kind of pops into your mind, or little personal mottos that you use or that you use with your clients to really help motivate them?
A great motivating thing, what I tell people, is right at the very beginning, we identify their main goals. And we identify goals not necessarily for aesthetics, but we look at goals such as, why do you get up in the morning every day to go to work, maybe to a job that you don't like?
Right.
And what tends to happen is that, well, to support my family, to support my, to do the things that I love in order for I could be happy. We use those same goals and translate that into health and fitness. So whenever somebody's feeling down and out, it's just a constant reminder of, remember those goals that we wrote out? You're doing this for your grandkids, your kids. You're doing this to have more function in your life. You're doing this to prolong your life. That way you could see maybe your grandkids have kids, or your children, watch them grow up and go to college and just live their life. So it's always that constant reminder of, why are we doing this? So that's the main reason why I tell people, is that if you find that underlying reason, not necessarily for aesthetic looks, but for something deeper, that's going to be the big key. That's going to be your key to success.
It definitely sounds deeper than, I want to lose 10 pounds for my high school reunion or whatever it is. It sounds like a long-term goal. So that leads me into this question. What makes you different than probably the other 500 personal trainers that are around this area? Why is your system or your program here at Upward Motion different than what you would find, say, at some other, big-time gym where you have this nice studio here?
Well, the main thing that separates me is that we first focus on is your mindset. Is that what clear-cut decisions have you made? And a lot of personal trainers, a lot of people, don't forget that, such as you guys, is that you guys focus on the mindset with everybody, focusing on their deepest wants and desires and helping them get that, or helping them, pave the road towards that success. It's exactly what we do here, is that we have to deal with the mindset behind everything, because that's what really, truly makes a successful person a successful person. Some people forget that along the way, and they just think, okay, lift this much weight, do this much cardio, eat this amount of food, and it's that simple. I look for lifelong goals. Those goals tend to only work, as a destination from point A to point B. But I tell people, look, this is a lifestyle change, so you have to set your clear-cut goals onto something that makes you get up every morning. So if you focus on something that makes you get up every morning, then your health and your fitness program is going to just flow right along with that. Just as if you would get up to go to work or take a shower, it's the same thing with your exercise and your fitness goals. Fit that right along with your same goals of why do you do those things, and it's just an everyday habit, and that's what creates lifelong success.
Well, that sounds perfect to me. It sounds like you have a total holistic approach when, there's so many things going on in the nation today around obesity, people who are struggling with their weight, and you're really taking this approach that it's not just what's going on with your body. Foremost, you have to look at what's going on in your mind and take a deeper look at that. Perfect. Sounds like a plan to me. And so what kind of training do you specialize in? We'll get some shots here in a moment of your beautiful studio. This is state-of-the-art in here.
Oh,
so
thank you so
what
much.
kind of things take place in here?
What we do is we focus on what's called in the exercise world functional training or functional exercise. Is that take a normal gym setting, you sit in a machine just like this, and you do chest presses 10 to 15 times with a short amount of weight at a specific reps. And what tends to happen is that, you sit there and you just push and push and push. And do we do any of those types of activities throughout our daily life? Do we sit there and do this?
Chest presses? I've never chest pressed when I'm making dinner.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
Yeah,
No.
Never done that.
Exactly. So our training has to be geared towards something that enhances something in our lives. So functional training is meaning that it helps out with our daily functions in life, whether if it's bending over, picking something up and pushing it over your head, or even going down and picking up a small child, pulling them towards you and just throwing up in the air, small little things like that. So we do a lot of what's called total body exercises. So with that same chest press, we could add maybe a forward lunge to pressing forward and then back. That's not only going to work out more muscles in the body, burn more calories, but it's also going to help you with your daily functional exercise, meaning that you take a step forward, you push the car door open, or push it closed, or things like that. So
That's so important. The other night, my son, he's 5, and he's
Mhm.
really getting to be pretty big now. I remember when my daughter was 5, that's when I pretty much stopped carrying her.
Mhm.
And he asked me to carry him to bed, and we live in a 2-story house. So I
Yeah.
thought, I wonder if I can do this. So I picked him up, and I was able to carry him upstairs.
Yeah.
And I knew that if I didn't work with my body in the way that I do and work on my muscles, I would have never been able to carry him
Exactly.
upstairs. I can't tell you the joy that I had from being
Exactly.
like, okay, I'm in my late 30s and I can
Uh-huh.
still do this
Mhm.
because I take care of my body. So I totally get the functional
Yeah.
training. I see people out in the world that are struggling to take their groceries and put them into the car
Exactly.
because their back muscles and their core is weakened or whatever's going on with them. So I see how important it is to enhancing lives to just be able to show somebody that exercise of from the cart to the trunk of the car, whatever it is. A plus, Louise. That's
Exactly.
really great.
Thank you. Think about it this way as well too: is that if you had to tell your 5-year-old, right?
Right. Uh-huh.
Yeah, if you had to tell your 5-year-old, no, I can't do that. Mommy's not strong enough to do that. I mean, that's heartbreaking to him. It's heartbreaking to you, and that's something that you want to do. But you physically cannot do that. So sometimes our bodies hinder us from what we want to do, and which is a very, very important thing that we have to take a grasp of. So.
Fantastic. And Mitch and I, we love stories.
Yeah.
So what's kind of been some really neat things that you've seen clients accomplish here at Upward Motion? What are some of your success stories or how this has enhanced
Yeah.
people's lives?
One of my success stories is a woman. She came to me. She's probably in her mid-30s, and she came to me just very typical, looking for a personal trainer, just had very small goals, maybe want to lose a couple pounds, things like that. Well, we trained over the course of the year, and I found out that she wanted to do a marathon.
Wow.
And she wanted to do, it was actually a half marathon. So we set a goal, and then we just continuously trained for it. And there was a lot of mental blocks that she had to deal with. There was running over 3 miles, running over 5 miles, just running over those mental blocks and dealing with that. So we had to deal with that and cut down to the basis. And then it was actually very interesting. But like 2-3 weeks prior to her race, she hurt her knee. So she came in one day, she was just in tears, just heartbroken that, the race that she set on, she thought she couldn't do it. So I'm
Right.
like, you know what, let's take care of that knee problem. It doesn't look like anything really big and drastic. So I worked with a chiropractor and myself, and then we worked on getting her knee straightened out, and 3 weeks later, she was up and running.
Oh,
She
wow.
accomplished her goal. It was really amazing. Now she's training for another bodybuilding competition as well too. So she's doing that.
That's fantastic. In the work that Mitch and I do, if I had seen that kind of situation, I would begin to think or understand, and everybody's different, that in accomplishing that goal and setting that goal, she may have set herself up a little bit to have a reason to step out from the goal. Because sometimes we do that. Sometimes we set ourselves up to say, oh, I really can't do that, I'm going to
Yeah.
step out. And it's all subconscious. We're not doing this on purpose by any means. I think it's really great that you helped work through her fear.
Exactly.
And that you helped really take a look and say, biologically, this isn't a hindrance. So let's see what we can do with your mind to really get you over that goal. We're going to work the physical part too, but you can still accomplish this. I can only imagine the self-esteem that she felt from that.
It's amazing. I mean, it's amazing what she feels now is that, something as small as 5-10 pounds has now become a half marathon, now becoming her own little bodybuilding goal is huge, is absolutely huge for her. Now she's reaching not only for 5 to 10 pounds, she's reaching for bigger and bigger things because now she has the self-confidence that I could do anything now. So that's what's really amazing, just to watch her progress and go towards that.
That is amazing, and just like anything else in life, when you reach a goal, whether it be with your body or out in work or whatever it is, then that just gives you the confidence to keep going for the next thing and the next thing, and it builds upon that. That's wonderful,
Yeah,
Louise. Thanks
it's
for sharing
great.
that.